All right, good. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 22nd of February, 2021. It's 7 p.m., and the Lake Bluff Village Board of Trustees is holding their regular meeting. Could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ankerman.
Here.
Trustee Sherlock.
Here.
Trustee Dewart.
Here.
Trustee Murky. Trustee Meyer.
Here.
Trustee Toll.
Here.
Okay. Again, due to the COVID-19 emergency and in accordance with Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, this meeting will be held primarily virtually, and at least one representative from the village will be present at Village Hall boardroom. And the virtual meeting will be simulcast for members of the public who do not wish to attend the virtual meeting from another location pursuant to the executive orders issued by the governor. The number of people who may gather at Village Hall for this meeting is limited due to the mandated social distancing guidelines and limitations on gathering. According, the opportunity to view the virtual meeting at Village Hall will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. All right, with that said, should we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we have consideration of the minutes of the February 8th, 2021 Village Board meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Mrs. Ankerman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dewart. Any changes, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Murky.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Okay. At this time, we allow 15 minutes for anyone in the audience who may wish to speak on any item or anything that is not on tonight's agenda. Do we have anybody that wishes to do so?
Doesn't appear that anybody is raising their
No,
hands,
good.
Madam President.
Okay, thank you. We also can change the order of the meeting, and I'm suggesting that we change items number 13 and bring forward to this time numbers 13, 15, and 16. Do I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Ms. Marquis. And do I have a second? A second by is that Mr. Meyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Murky.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
All right, item number 13 is an ordinance granting a special use permit to Bedala's Auto Body Incorporated to operate an automobile repair facility in the village's L1 Light Industry Zoning District, which is at 104 North Skokie Highway. This is first reading approval. And on December 22nd, 2020, the village of Lake Bluff received a zoning relief application for Bedala's Auto Body allow the operation of an automobile repair use at 104 North Skokie Highway. The automobile body shop use was previously authorized nearby within the DeMarie Business Park by Ordinance 1995-01 and 1997-25. It appears that at some point this business, Interpro Auto Body and Painting, relocated into the subject property without obtaining new zoning relief or a business certificate of occupancy. This was discovered when the business was purchased by new owners, which is Bedala's Auto Body, who promptly sought a sign permit and a business certificate of occupancy. The business exists and is operating today, and staff was unable to locate any records of complaints concerning this business. Approval of the special use permit will simply properly authorize these operations to continue. On February 17th, the PCZBA conducted a public hearing to consider special use permit. At the conclusion of the hearing, the PCZBA voted 5-1 to recommend the village board approve the special use permit with no special conditions. The dissenting commissioner expressed that the special use permit should include restrictions related to the location of vehicle parking and the hours of operation for the business, notably as there is an apartment on the property. By the way, the apartment is an existing non-conforming use in the L1 Light Industry District. Some, but not all, similar zoning relief in the vicinity include similar conditions. Right? I get a motion on that one?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, thank you very much. Okay, do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Ankerman, and second.
Second.
And second by Mr. Charlo. All right, trustees, any comments, questions? All right. Drew, did you say that the owner is in the audience?
It's not clear that he is. I think he indicated he would be at the meeting.
I was wondering if he had anything he wished that he had anything to add. Okay, I guess not. All right, so then, let's have a roll call on this one.
Trustee Dort.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
All right.
Trustee Charlo. Trustee Charlo.
All right, the next item is item number 15, which is an ordinance approving a final plat of subdivision and variations from the zoning regulations for the Arden Shore subdivision. Again, this is first reading approval. Do I have a motion, please, on this?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Meyer. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Charlo. All right. In late December 2020, the village received an application seeking a subdivision and a number of variations for 500 Arden Shore Road. The property was formerly the site of the Arden Shore Child and Family Services Campus, a group home and residential program until about 1995. The site has been vacant since that time, and the village's comprehensive plan contemplates that it would be redeveloped as a planned residential development. As proposed, the relief sought would enable the development of the western 18.2 acres of the site as a driving range for Shore Acres Golf Course and the eastern 7.8 acres as a single-family residence. The variations sought would allow the creation of both lots despite substandard width. Both are flagged lots. The creation of one lot with no public street frontage, lot 2, which is the residential site. A fence to be built in excess height along the boundary between lot 1 and lot 2. 2 accessory dwelling units to be built on lot 2 in addition to the principal residence. On January 20th, the PCZBA conducted its public hearing and unanimously recommended the village board approve the subdivision and zoning relief with a number of special conditions as listed in the attached ordinance. A final plan review by the PCZBA and the village board is required for lot 1 before development of ADUs or a fence exceeding the height limit. The final plan requirements limit the size of the various residences, require them to be held in common ownership, and provide for additional screening. The development of Lot 2 as a practice field is subject to lighting restrictions and site plan review by the Architectural Board of Review. After development, a tree preservation area will protect high-quality trees on Lot 2. Certain more restrictive setbacks have been established for accessory structures on both lots. Since January 20th, the applicant and Shore Acres have been negotiating to finalize their property transaction, which resulted in a delay of this item being brought for the first reading consideration by the board. The These negotiations include two necessary elements that are relevant to the subdivision approval, namely providing Lot 1 access to and across Shore Acres Drive and use of the private fire hydrant at Shore Acres. Sections 5H and I have been added at the recommendation of the village attorney to recognize and include these necessary elements in the ordinance. Drew, is there anyone here from the owners of this property?
Yes.
The petitioners, rather.
Mr. Edelman is on the
All right,
line
do
and
they have-
prepared.
All right. Do they have anything they would like to say at this time, or they will anticipate if we have any questions?
This is Mike Edelman. One point of clarification, there was a typo, and I pointed this out to Glenn this afternoon. When you read through your one page there, the 4 bullet points, it talked about the ADUs on Lot 2. It made a couple of references to Lot 2, which should have been to Lot 1. Lot 1 is the eastern lakefront residential lot, and Lot 2 is the westerly 18.2 acres for the driving range. So that was just a typo. Glenn was probably pretty blurry-eyed when he did it.
All right, I thank you for that. Appreciate that. Trustees, any questions, comments? Yeah, Drew. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, I was just wanted to clarify something here. In the final paragraph of the initial recitation talks about fire access. When we get down to the section itself, what it says is that it appears that if, in the event that Shore Acres doesn't acquire Lot 2, which is the lot away from the lake, they shall permit access to the fire hydrant. Do I understand that there's a contingency there, that Lot 1 would only have access to a fire hydrant if they choose to complete the sale? Is that the right understanding?
I don't believe so. No, Shore Acres is granting us an access easement and access to the fire hydrant. And the easement will go of record prior to the plat of subdivision being recorded.
Any other questions or comments?
Drew, does that adequately describe section 5I?
It does. Can it maybe help me understand your concern, Trustee Dewar?
No, it just says in the event that Shore Acres acquires Lot 2, they'll permit access to the fire hydrant.
I see. Oh, yeah.
My question was in the event that the sale of Lot 2 is not consummated by to Shore Acres, does Lot 1 have access to the fire hydrant?
I'll see to it that it does. I'd have to go back and pull our easement agreement. You raise a good question. I'll have to go back to our CCRs and our easement agreement to make sure you've got it.
And either way, Trustee Dewar, either way, that can be adjusted between first and second reading to provide that the access will be given either way.
That would be fine. I know that that's a very sensitive issue for homes in the Shore Acres area, is access to fire water. So,
right. I do know, Mr. Dewar, that we're going to have to provide sufficient well capacity to provide for sprinkler systems, because this doesn't have a municipal source of water. The house is going to be sprinklered, the ADUs are going to be sprinklered, and the well's going to be sized accordingly for that.
very good.
And we also discussed with the village making sure that the driveway that comes in off of the Shore Acres Drive easement, that it's curvilinear gently enough to allow fire trucks to swing in there without having to make any acute turns.
I'm sure that the fire department will appreciate that.
Drew, I do have a follow-up question. I think Mr. Edelman may have just answered it in about all of its substance, but the question is this, Drew. Is our fire department and any other public safety personnel satisfied with the entirety of what we see here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock. Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 16, which is an ordinance amending section 10-5A-1 of the Lake Bluff zoning regulations relating to golf courses in the C-E Country Estate Residence District. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you very much, Ms. Marquis. And do I have a second?
Second.
And second by Mr. Dewar. Today, the zoning regulations provide that country club golf courses, including the related clubhouse, pro shop, restaurant, and other accessory structures, are permitted only on tracts of land of 120 acres or more in area. The westerly lot 2 that will be created by the Arden Shore subdivision would directly abut on property owned by Shore Acres that, in total, exceeds 120 acres in area. However, the primary connection between this lot and the remainder of Shore Acres property within the village is through Shore Acres unincorporated acreage and, by extension, outside of the C-E district. The technical change proposed in the attached draft ordinance would simply clarify that this is still an acceptable circumstance under which a country club golf course is a permitted use. Are there any questions, comments on this? All right, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
All right, we now go back to the regular order of the meeting. We have the village finance report for February 9th to February 22nd. This will be approval of disbursement for a roll call vote. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved, excuse me. All right, by Mr. Toll. Do I have
Second.
a second? And second by Mr. Meyer. Expenditure of village funds for payment of invoices in the amount of $228,175.52, February 9th, February 22nd, 2021. So that the warrant report for that date, February 9th to February 22nd, repeat, is $228,175.52. The invoice register report shows checks with the status of open or paid. All checks with the status of open are computer-generated checks for the board's final approval. Checks with the status of paid are manual checks processed. Do we have any comments or questions regarding the warrant report? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have? All right. I see that we do. Do we have a finance report for this evening?
Yes, ma'am. It came out earlier today. Yep.
All right. Well, it doesn't seem to be in my packet.
My apologies.
Thank you. But you're not the one sitting up here without it.
Understood. I'm sure Finance
All
Director,
right.
but O'Connell will be happy to review the numbers.
I'm going to, right now, I am going to turn it over. First of all, if I could have a vote to, do I have a motion to approve the finance report, please?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you. Was that Mr. Dewar?
Mr. Meyer.
Meyer.
Mr. Myers, I'm sorry. Could I have a second? Second by Mr. Charlot. All right, I will, in my embarrassment, turn this over to the finance director to elaborate.
Sure. The monthly sales tax revenue on a cash basis for FY21 through January is $2,451,641, which is $147,463, or 5.7% less than the cash received from fiscal year 20. Building permit revenue for fiscal year 21 to date is $285,480, or $33,330 more than the same reporting period for last fiscal year. General fund revenues of $8,607,754 are $9,300 less than the general fund revenues from May of 20, or from fiscal year 20. Fiscal year 21 current expenditures are consistent with or less than budgeted, and the fiscal 21 year-to-date expenditures of $7,210,520 are $510,885 less than the expenditures for the same period in fiscal year 20.
Thank you. Any questions for the finance director? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlo. Trustee Dewar. Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer. Trustee Toll.
All right. Okay. I believe we have village administrators report.
The only thing I would offer is our Public Works Department has been exceptionally busy this month. While it did not break a record, it certainly came close in terms of snowfall and continuous days of snowfall. And I think we actually did break one record internally with the number of compliments Village Hall has received regarding Public Works and their work in keeping our streets clear and accessible, and likewise the sidewalks and the pathways. And I'm not kidding. Jake loves what he does and the people he works with, but he has a hard time taking a compliment. And so it's been funny. He's like, I got another annoying phone call today where somebody was praising us and wants to bring us lunch. But they've been doing a phenomenal job, and without complaints. And when I see the crews out there, they're smiling and they're waving, and they've been doing it very well and very safely, which is very important. And given the amount of snow we received, this is one of those times about twice every decade we've had situations where the snow gets so high that our postal service workers say they have difficulty reaching mailboxes. And when that happens, we've had to gone out and scrape some more away so that homeowners make sure they get the mail. We usually follow that up with a phone call to the postmaster as well. But it's been working out very well. And again, we've had a lot of compliments for Jake and his team. I just like to point that out and thank them for their work. So well done, Jake.
Anything else tonight, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, village attorney.
No report tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Village president report. I just want to also reiterate what Drew has said. Kudos to our public works. They were out early, the streets were great. The sidewalks downtown, very early in the morning, were all done, everything. It was an absolutely fantastic job. And I have also received numerous compliments on behalf of Public Works to tell them we do have a great bunch of guys, and you are truly appreciated. We thank you. My other thing for today is again an extension of the village president's declaration of emergency, which we have done ever since March 18th. My God, it's been a year.
Yep.
Whoa. None of us expected this to be a year later, that we're still in this. We're hopefully at some point going to see a light at the end of this tunnel. It's going to be a while yet, but it is coming, but nobody expected it to be a year. So since March 18th of 2020, at every subsequent village board meeting, have asked to reapprove this declaration. So I'm asking again for that, and hopefully there will be a time in the relatively near future where we will not have to do this. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Ms. Ankerman. Do I have a second?
Second.
And second by Mr. Charlot. Roll call, please.
Trustee Charlo.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Okay. We have the next item on here, which is acceptance of the correspondence, which all correspondence which has been delivered to the village board in our informational reports on February 5th and 12th. Do I have a motion to accept the correspondence?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Markey, and do I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Toll. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlo.
Item number 11, which is a resolution establishing the regular meeting dates and committee of the whole meeting dates for the Board of Trustees for fiscal year 2021, 2022. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Ankerman. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
I think that was Mr. Toll first. Illinois statutes require the village board to provide notice of the regular schedule of meetings. In keeping with past practice, the proposed schedule establishes the regular meeting of the village board, 7 p.m. start time on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Additionally, the proposed schedule also includes committee of the whole COW meetings, date 6 p.m. start time for the same night as the regular meeting of the village board. Please note that the attached meeting schedule includes one meeting in the month of December. Last meeting is usually canceled due to the proximity of the holiday season. While Columbus Day is one of the 10 federal holidays, it is not a holiday the village observes, so the village board can consider meeting that evening. Also, due to COVID-19 emergency, the village board and COW meetings will be held primarily virtually for the near term. As required by law, at least one representative from the village will be present at the Village Hall boardroom to allow members of the public an opportunity to view the virtual meeting at Village Hall on a first-come, first-served basis. All right. Do we have a roll call for this, please?
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlo.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
We now have item number 12, which is a resolution renewing, restating and amending resolution number 2020-31 regarding outdoor food and beverage service during the COVID emergency. Do I have a motion on this one, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Whoops. Okay, so moved by Mr. Dewart and second by Mr. Meyer. Excuse me. The many businesses within the village that have been significantly and adversely affected by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, food and beverage service establishments have been particularly hard hit. Food and beverage service establishments are a crucial part of the social and economic fabric of the village and have worked diligently and creatively to continue their operations and provide service to residents of the village and neighboring communities. The governor's Restore Illinois plan provides that food and beverage service establishments may offer limited outdoor on-premise services. The village recognizes that strict enforcement of certain requirements of the Lake Bluff Municipal Code as amended includes Title 10 of the Village Code under zoning regulations that would otherwise apply to outdoor service may not be practical or desirable during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. On May 27, 2020, the village passed resolution number 2020-31 to authorize food and beverage establishments to use village streets and sidewalks for outdoor services until the earlier of the governor's authorization for restaurants to resume indoor dining and 90 days from its effective date. On February 3rd, 2021, Region 9, which is Lake and McHenry counties, moved to Phase 4 of the Restore Illinois Plan, which allows restaurant and bar establishments to resume limited indoor dining operations. The village board met on February 8th in the committee of the whole and discussed how the greater community and food and beverage service establishments might benefit from continuing to allow the use of village streets and sidewalks for outdoor service. Ultimately, the village board expressed the desire to renew, restate, and amend the outdoor service resolution in order to permit use of village streets and sidewalks by local businesses until the end of 2021. Any questions regarding this? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlow.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
This is now an ordinance, number 14, is an ordinance amending the Lake Bluff zoning regulations and the Lake Bluff Municipal Code to extend the short-term rental regulations. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Ankerman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, was that Mr. Dewar?
Yes.
Mr. Charlo.
Charlotte, excuse me. All right. This is a first reading approval. On April 23rd, 2018, and following extensive public comment and engagement, the village board adopted a 2-year pilot program authorizing short-term rentals in the village's residential areas, subject to licensure, inspection, and various other regulations. Public comment from the original adoption of these regulations is available and can be viewed by clicking on the electronic device. The pilot program was originally set to expire on April 23rd, 2020. On March 10th, 2020, the pilot program's expiration date was extended by 12 months in order to gather additional data. On January 11th, 2021, the Committee of the Whole reviewed the pilot program, and at the conclusion of its discussion, the consensus of the village board was to eliminate the expiration or sunset date for the village's short-term rental regulations. Member of the boards noted that the recurrent need to reauthorize the pilot program creates contention in the community and that regulations can always be amended at a later date. As the pilot program's expiration date is codified in the zoning regulations, deleting the expiration date requires a public hearing before the PCZBA. On February 17th, the PCZBA conducted its public hearing to consider extending the regulations indefinitely. At its conclusion of the hearing, the PCZBA voted unanimously to recommend the village board extend the expiration date for only 1 year. Individual commissioners expressed that the village should reevaluate the current requirements as they may be impractical and burdensome, that the village still must decide if it ultimately wishes to allow or prohibit short-term rentals, and that the village should consider a referendum or other method to solicit community input during a 1-year extension. Comments from the board? Nothing? But I will recommend, and you guys can discuss this, the point of discussion this evening, I would recommend that we continue with the short-term rental, but eliminate the pilot program and make it, at this point, permanent.
I'll chime in. I don't think a 1-year extension would give us any more information.
I agree. I absolutely agree. So I'm suggesting not to do that.
Right. I don't see the next 12 months being significantly different than the previous 12 months. We hope that they are, but I don't think that they will be. So a 1-year extension, I don't think is appropriate. We talked about this extensively at I guess it was the last COW meeting. And we wanted to address the fact that we have talked about this for so long, so many meetings, and as was stated in your introduction, we can change it at any time.
Right.
So to continue to extend, I think is just a bit of a waste of this board's time, and also some contention when it comes up every year.
I would agree, which is why I'm suggesting that we just make it a permanent thing at this point, realizing that a board at any time can make.
There was a feedback from the PCCBA that I thought was important in this discussion. That is, the pilot program was dependent on feedback, was dependent on data from the community from this program. We're not getting data. We're not getting feedback from this program. And one of their finding was, or one of their thoughts was, the program is too restrictive. So either we extend this program or we change the program, but at the end of the day, as we continue going forward in time, we might end up with the same result. So is this too restrictive going forward?
I guess I'd like to add, based on that comment, that when this ordinance first talked about, there was a lot of public comment. There was a lot of time spent into writing the ordinance. And I think for the most part, the ordinance deals a lot with safety. It deals a lot with keeping people safe. It deals a lot with things that are really important to our community. So I don't feel like it's too restrictive. I feel like we have to balance all the different aspects of short-term rentals and think about all the different positions of people in our community, and I think that this ordinance reflects that.
Okay. Can I hear from can we hear from everybody on this one?
I think what I'd add, Madam President, is to reflect what Trustee Toll and Trustee Marquis have said, as well as what we've all discussed, including Trustee Ankerman and others on this issue. I do agree with you, Madam President. We should make it permanent, and let's go forward. I agree with Trustee Marquis that the restrictions have been sensible, have been the result of a long process in which ultimately I think now we've reached consensus. It's time to move on.
Thank you.
It's time to move forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would agree that it is a bit restrictive, but it was with a lot of discussion, with a lot of debate, with a lot of thought that those regulations were drafted. And so I think we need to move forward.
Okay. All right. Any other comments?
Madam President, you have
All right.
you have a person raising their hand looking to speak. I don't know if you're ready for public
I'm
comment.
sorry. Do I have trustees have anything else they wish to weigh in on first? All right. No, we certainly are open to public comment.
Mrs. Havern, you're ready to queue it up if you unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Good evening, everybody. I have a question. So the trustees can look at this permanent ordinance at any time. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so they can go back to it and say a year goes by and there's still nobody that's taking part in a short-term rental. I can come before the board and say, hey, let's take a look at this.
Absolutely.
And okay, so the time then will be given. I mean, do you have a lot of ordinances that that aren't being used? that aren't being applied? Do you have just a lot of ordinances sitting there that really aren't like practical? I guess is what I'm asking. I mean, how do I enter into this discussion again? There's so much resistance now. You know my thoughts on this. The safety, I'm not quite sure how driveway within a 5 foot of another driveway is a safety issue, other than to restrict us from doing it. And everybody sees that. But how is that a safety issue? How is that a safety? Maybe I should ask you instead of making an assumption. How is having a driveway totally separate from your neighbors still not allowed to have someone come into their home while they live there? What is the reasoning there? I just don't get it. So the way the ordinance is written now, and the zoning board members gave you a lot of input on this. The way it's written now, you are aware that there can be party houses, no problem, in Lake Bluff. That a whole house rental without the owner there can rent their house when they don't live there for 45 days under the current ordinance. But myself or someone else cannot home share under this ordinance and make an unreasonable amount of money. You are aware of this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to point that out.
I guess
No, I do-
if I may,
I do
can I point out
respect-
something? I'm sorry. Mrs. Haverin, just right now, right, the maximum guests per night under the existing regulations is no short-term rental shall serve more than 10 guests per night. And I guess it depends on how rowdy
Correct.
those guests are, but the idea of what a party house
Right.
looks like.
But,
Yeah.
so, exactly. Well, 10 guests is a lot. I mean, that's a lot, I think. That's a party to me. You add your own family, or no, actually your family won't be there. Yeah, and then the guests can have their friends over. I mean, it's, you know, whatever. An ordinance is written that you can have 10 guests over and the owner doesn't have to be there. And that's okay. But if a person wants to open up their house and have a guest over while they live there, that's not okay. You do see that ordinance is written that way. It's not something that they can afford to do. I guess my bottom line, what someone said to me when this was being discussed 3 years ago, she said, and she was very, very successful with a lot of resources, financial, whatever. And she said to me, they forget where they started and who put them there. They forget that where they were in the beginning and struggles that people have. And they're in good positions now, so they're not getting a good, they forget. That was her comment. And I'm just going to end it at that. I would like to have some answers on how safety is the real consideration when you're allowing party houses, but you won't let the resident to have a guest over while they live there. How is that a safe thing?
Well, I think at this point, first of all, the public comment is not designed for debate. So we're not going to get into a debate. And if you want to call our village administrator tomorrow, that's a perfectly good way to try to explain how this ordinance works. But the purpose of public comment, respectfully, is not to get into public debate.
Well, if Madam President, if I may, just to be crystal clear, I think the comment was made that a number of the elements and conditions and limitations in this ordinance did focus on life safety, right? There's clearly a long list of life safety requirements in the ordinance, but likewise, not unlike home occupations and the similar type of intensities of use that is maybe more intense than one would normally expect. And that's what zoning really is a lot of expectation management, is what can one expect to happen next door. That there are other conditions or limitations within here trying to manage that so that property owners could have what they would expect to occur in terms of level or intensity of use in their neighborhood. And I think so that's, yes, life safety is probably the primary element and objective of this ordinance, but when it was written, there was also the goal of trying to manage neighborhoods in terms of expectation management of level of intensity of use. Again, drawing a parallel to the village's home occupation regulations and trying to understand and limit the number of workers that could be present at a residence, the type of deliveries that they would face. Again, trying to manage what somebody would expect to happen next door in a residential area.
And then COVID came along and changed everything, huh? And everybody's walking out of the house and bringing people in and out all the time. That COVID. I absolutely agree, Drew, that life management is the life thing is so important. And I agree with so many of what you guys have put in. I mean, of course you should have fire extinguishers. Of course you'd have smoke detectors and a ladder at the top. This is great stuff. But people are going to do it for a month, and they're not going to have those safety things put in place. I'm sorry, Kathleen or her, you did say for me not to debate. Let me just end it. They're going to do it for a month, and they're not going to have any of those safety things. But if you let them do it for 2 weeks, that village can make sure that they do have those safety factors in. So yeah, safety and expectation of use. My neighbor next door has 5 cars in her driveway. Come on, she had 5 cars in her driveway at the time of this ordinance. My other neighbor has 5 kids. Am I supposed to say, no, you're not allowed to live in that house. You have 5 kids. Come on, anybody can move next door and do what they want to use their personal property. I am getting in a debate, and I know, Kathleen, you told me not to. I apologize. I will end it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. All right. Did we have a point of order here for Drew, our attorney? The ordinance says it's amending the Lake Bluff zoning regulations and the Lake Bluff municipal code. It's not to extend the short-term rental regulations. Is that the right wording for this now?
Yeah, the ordinance that's in front of you, the draft that's attached, does extend it indefinitely. It's not. It eliminates the sunset provision.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure that was clarified. All right, at this point, we need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlow. Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlow, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said aye.
Okay.
All right. At this point, trustees report. The trustees have anything to report on this evening? All right. We have consideration of the February 8th, 2021 executive session meeting minutes. We could discuss that now. Unless there's no discussion, actually, we can vote on it now. If there's a discussion, we'll hold that off for executive session. Is there anybody wanting to discuss that?
I move to approve.
Thank you very much. I have a
Second.
and a second by Mr. Charlot. Okay, roll call please on that.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlow.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
All righty, I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss ongoing litigation.
So moved.
So that was Mr. Dewart and second by Ms. Markey. This would have to be a roll call too, but before that, is this another Zoom? So we have to get off of this afterwards and go back. Okay, good luck with this. All right.
And just to be clear, at the conclusion of that, I'm sorry, Madam President, just to be clear for those perhaps that are still on the line here, that following closed session, there'll be no other actions of the village board and the meeting will technically end at that point.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Sherlow.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Okay. Hereby, we'll close out of this to go into executive session.
Thank you.